So over time, as I've carved more block prints, I have slowly upgraded my tools. One of the tools that I upgraded was my carving tool. So originally I started out using this Speedball carving tool. It's probably something you might be quite familiar with if you've already done some carving. But there are some limitations to it, so I started looking into what higher quality brands there were and eventually started to upgrade. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the higher quality tools, carving tools that I use now, why I use them, the results that I get, that sort of thing. So I use two different brands. So I have a Micropalm set from FlexCut, and that comes with 4 different tools. Also, a cute little set of Band-Aids, which is kind of, a bit of a tongue-in-cheek look at some of the injuries we might be a little more prone to in this hobby. And the other brand I use is the Feil. I'm not 100% sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly, Pfeil. They're a Swiss-made brand, and they have some very popular, very high-quality tools as well. I originally upgraded to a set of 6 of the Feil. I purchased Lino Set C. And if you look, I've done a little bit of carving. All these ones that have the C underneath, they are from the set that I originally bought. Let me just bring this up closer, get it into focus. So you can see set C, which all except for this one with the X came in that set. You can get a pretty great range of different carving options from a couple of particularly narrow carving tools. This 15C and this 1105 allow you to do a lot of really great detail work. Now, if their numbering system is a little bit difficult to understand, I'm not 100% sure what the 2 different numbers mean, but I believe the number at the beginning or before the slash has to do with the angle of the tool itself. So you have either the V gouge, where it's shaped like a V, or a U gouge, and they have different levels where they taper in. The number after, I believe, is how many millimeters it is. So this right here is a 12/4. It's 4 millimeters wide. And this one happens to be, let's see if I can get focusing on it. It's a V gouge that fits their whatever measurement they're using that is 12. So it's a little bit confusing. It's hard to order online because you don't 100% know what you're getting until you get it. This is a 15/2. So if you compare it, hopefully this is staying in focus. So this is the 15/2 and this is the 12/4. So this one's 2 millimeters wide and this is 4 millimeters wide. The 15/2 has a steeper angle and the 12/4 has a less steep angle. Now these 5 are U gouges. This one right here, I'll do a little focus in on it. This is the 11/0.5, so it is teeny tiny, and you can carve some really great details in it. And then there's 3 different, I won't get too in detail. Let's see if I can hold all 3 up so you can kind of compare. Okay, so this one right here is 8/7. Got an 8/3 in the middle here, and then a 9/2 here. And I also purchased separately from the set, this is my most recent acquisition, a very flat one. And this is a 3/ I believe a 13. It could be 3/12. I'm not 100% sure. Now, this here is the 3/13 or 3/12. I don't use it to do an initial carving, because I find it's way too flat. But it is fantastic when you've done, this is a block that I've carved in the past. So if you can see, let's see if we can get a good angle. You can see where I've cleared out all of the lino, and I don't want ink to get onto these, but you have all these ridges, and you can see here in the past when I've been printing, I've gotten a little bit of ink here that can transfer onto your print. But you can take this and carve away just the little bit of excess that you don't want. And then you end up with something that looks a bit more like this one, where it's a lot more flat and you're way lower risk of accidentally getting a bit of ink on here that transfers onto your paper that you're printing. So that's a quick look at my feel tools. The FlexCut Micro is just a set of 4, and I'll take a focus on this again. So it came with 4 different blades. One is a V-gouge, which is this 45 degree and 1 millimeter wide one. And then this one is 1 millimeter, but it's their number 9. It's a U-gouge. So they're number 9 and number 5 here. That must mean the angle as well, similar to this numbering system. This is the 1 millimeter wide, 1.5 millimeter wide, and 2.5 millimeter. And let's see. So this is the V-gouge, and this one's fantastic for really, really great detail. I actually like it. I ended up buying this set after I had my feel set because I found that this 11/0.5, which is incredibly tiny, and you can do some really, really fantastic detail. It's quite shallow, and I wanted something that I could carve a little bit deeper, just because I didn't want to sometimes you get ink into the shallower areas. Plus, I just find it easier to carve with this one than I could do with this particular really, really tiny carving tool. And then these 3, I'll show 2 of them. They are, hopefully you can see these. They're kind of a U-gouge. And this one right here, it's a U-gouge as well. I don't know if it's showing. And it works quite well. Now, if I were to, knowing what I know right now with how I like to carve, I would get probably the C set again of the feel. I'd get this extra one, and then I might just see if I can individually purchase this FlexCut carving, this FlexCut really small one, because I find that these 3, they're kind of represented over here. So these ones aren't necessarily particularly unique for me. So let me talk a little bit about why I actually went and upgraded from the Speedball to the FlexCut and the feel. So there's a much wider range of carving sizes and shapes. I have some pretty standard ones here, plus an extra one that not every carving artist will use. I really like carving detail, so I wanted to be able to get a lot of detail ones, or ones that would allow me to carve detail, which is why I ended up purchasing this micro palm set, because it's some of the smallest sizes out there. You can also sharpen them. The Speedball, you can't sharpen, you have to keep replacing the little replacement ends here. So every time I go to carve, I use my slip strop and I just hone it. I also have some carving tools, which I haven't used because I haven't gotten to the point where I feel they need to actually be sharpened. So just honing it seems to be working for now. They cost more up front, absolutely. This one that I purchased separately was about $30 Canadian, maybe a little bit more, probably $35 once I accounted for shipping. I bought this set, it was a few years ago now, so I can't remember the price off the top of my head, but for 6 of them, it was definitely quite pricey. This was close to $100 Canadian, so they're definitely more expensive. But because I can sharpen them, and I don't have to constantly go out and buy the replacements. You know, in the long run, as long as you take care of them, hone them before every use, they can last you for decades. You should expect these to last your entire lifetime. They can be really tricky to find. All of mine have been ordered online. I haven't been able to find them in any stores where I live. So I've ordered, I think, both the FlexCut and the set of feel I ended up ordering off of Amazon. And then this one I found a wood carving company. So I was able to order it in and I was able to pick it up at their store. Another advantage of this is you can buy one and just see how it fits in your hand. The thing about being a block carver, you're carving wood, you're carving lino, which can be quite firm. You need to make sure that it fits comfortably in your hand, or else you're not going to be able to carve for as long because you're going to be tired, or you can even injure yourself. I did it the wrong way, potentially, because I bought a set first. Fortunately, they fit really nicely in my hand, so I was lucky that way. And that's the same for the FlexCut. I was lucky enough to be able to try the FlexCut in my hand in a store when I was traveling in London, England one time. So I knew before I bought this set that they would be okay. But had I not been able to do that, I might have just purchased one. One more thing about FlexCut is I've also tried a FlexCut where you just purchase one handle and then you replace the blades. I didn't personally love that because one of the reasons why I upgraded from Speedball is that I hate having to constantly replace the actual carving blade. I just want to be able to pick up and move to the next one and then grab the one, swap back and forth without any effort. But that is an option, and I believe it's a little bit more affordable. Now, essentially, that is it. I think they're absolutely fantastic if you are doing any sort of quantity of carving. It's absolutely worth it to upgrade your tools. It might take you a little while to save up the money to be able to do it, but once you do, you might never use your Speedball again, or whatever carving tools you're using. There are some other brands that are less expensive. I haven't tried them because I ended up skipping right to these right away, but these are absolutely fantastic. Every time I use them, I'm just happy I upgraded to them.